gonna tell you too, Lloyd. I ain't know the context in which whatever y'all was talking about, but I was like that person that's talking about a main and then got a team. That mindset definitely sound like a street mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody where like he said, commitment issues. They're not sure themselves.
Right.
They don't know. They not ready to commit because apparently they got some insecurities or something like that. Like I had a guy tell me, his uncle told him, "You just like a little rat, always running back to that same hole." Which it was a lady, they were staying together. She had his son. They weren't married, but he was doing I got a main and then I got a team. And he was like, man, bro, it's all the same thing. Anything, you just create more problems. So now you're dealing with multiple personalities, multiple tendencies, you got multiple attitudes.
Yeah, that's true.
It is not conducive. But you got people with that lifestyle. They call it poly. Please stop blowing your breath on my neck, man.
Man, bro, that is so true, man. That's crazy. I had met somebody like that.
I didn't know the context, but yeah.
I'm a unicorn. I'm like, hold on, what? But yeah, I met some people like that. When I meet them, like, man, why in the world you get married? You might as well stay single and do what you do.
Some people, it's like their vision board, so to speak. It's an accomplishment. It's something I've always wanted to do, but then you get in and realize it ain't like in the movies. It ain't a snapshot and then, happily ever after. Like It's actual work. It's like you get up and you an entrepreneur or you hit your 9 to 5 or, any relationship. This relationship requires work. Just between us, like we have to give and take. Everything don't go our way. You have to be flexible. There's compromise. You have to hear other people's point of view and know that it's for the good. So, a lot of people are just selfish. And it's not in the sense that you don't do something for others, so you don't sacrifice. But if it's like at the end of the day, if I don't get what I want, then and basically if they're not working to fulfill all of that through one person. It's like, okay, I talked to her because she talked to me and she's intelligent. But the one that's a baddie is dumb as a brick. So I only use her for what I want to use her for. And then somebody else know how to cook, they're gonna take care of me, they're gonna pick me up. Somebody else is gonna be the person that's gonna be that person that'll drive you. That's gonna do business and all of that, and it's just like, or they just trying to flex like they got a bunch of notches, like, I got a whole squad. When they're saying something about you as well as themselves. Unless again you're part of that select group of people that does polygamy, or they're okay having to share you. A lot of those people are incomplete people, though. So.
Yeah.
Somebody that's fully complete with themselves, and
I got it.
I know, but I'm gonna let mommy get it. I just want to make sure. All right. I'm not gonna say. I guess it's just a mindset or whatever frame of mind you're in. Because I'm not one of those people that's gonna slave sex workers and all those kind of things. Yes, it don't line up with the word of God, but some people, it's the age-old profession. That's what they enjoy or what they tell themselves they enjoy. Whether that's from childhood traumas, whether that was something, because my thing is, the only reason I say I don't shame them is because it's just like me saying I'm addicted to pornography, or I'm addicted to alcohol, I'm addicted to narcotics, and then I'm just going to suppress that because most of the time those people already feel bad.
Right.
And they're going to that to get that feel-good feeling. They haven't replaced that with something positive. Almost like when Nehemiah was saying he just got tired of being tired in that situation. So he started moving away and he started doing something different, putting something different there. Not saying that it was easy, but he began to make that transition. A lot of people don't know how because that's the vice they go to. And I'm like, this person may be like, if I got a team that validates me, that makes me, this, that means I'm accepted based upon, this says I'm worthy. I got a team of 5 chicks where I got, my main is the baddest one, but, all my homeboys want to smash all my side chicks. So that means I'm the man now. That's what they're using to validate themselves instead of being comfortable in their own skin. Saying, when I was born, I was stamped. And that's what I'm saying. I just caught that a little bit. I don't know how deep that was or what it was pertaining to, but I'll say just from my experience, growing up in the environment I grew up in, a lot of them, they weren't getting it at home. So, this is how I found love. This is how I get validation. This makes me a man. I guess, like Nehemiah always says, what's the core values? What it come back to?
There we go. That's it. You already know. So
That's what you're gonna operate out of.
So
that's what we was talking about, the source.
oh yeah. So
So
who's
it
gonna
goes.
bring us in tonight?
Look, we already in it right now, really. We really already in it. You know what I'm saying? I was about to just be like, so, you know, let's get into this podcast. You know what I'm saying? We really already in it. What's up, guys? Look, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Gifted Exchange. Y'all already know who it is. Your host. Well, not even your host, my bad. Your boy, Nehemiah. You already see, we got the host right here. You know what I'm saying? My guy, Lloyd. Look, and you already know we got Joshua Coleman on the line, man. You already heard we was talking about, man. We was talking about a few things. So today's topic is, what is your source? All right, so I'm gonna let my guy Lloyd go ahead and take over, man. We was already in this podcast, but we're gonna keep it rolling for y'all. All right, what's up?
Yo, what's up, everybody? How you doing? Hope you're holding on through this pandemic.
Yes, sir.
Once again. But today we're going to talk about what is your source, right? And not only what is your source, but do you have confidence in that source, right? So, we're going to give you two definitions. Where did definition come from, J. Cole?
Google.
Right. Hey, everybody use Google, right?
Your source of information, your most powerful search engine.
Right. So we're going to start off with source. What does source mean? Basic source means where someone of something come from, right? Then we're going to get the next definition, which is confidence. And confidence means the feeling or belief that one can rely on someone or something. It's like a firm trust. So those are two definitions. We're going to kind of go a little bit deep into these today and see where your source lies, right?
Hey.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So what is your source? Audience, let me take out the glass. What is your source?
Look me in my eye.
Comment below and tell us what your source is, man. Tell us what your source is.
Is your source books, people, anybody can name some more? Your best friend, your cousin?
Your faith,
Cars, houses,
your man, the
money.
object. Yes, there you go. Inanimate objects.
There we go.
This could be too far.
One day, I don't know if y'all listen to Christian rap, but this is artist, man. One day, and she collabed with another guy, and then the gist or the song was talking about, like, are you gonna be happy, right, when you only have the money left to talk to? Are you gonna be happy when a situation comes up and you're not with anybody else, right? You really don't have a source, right? All you have is the things that you have come to, right? The things that you have acquired to be the things that you can lean on. Are you still going to be happy when you have that just have that, all right? My bad. Go ahead, Lloyd.
Would you say?
Hold on. I was gonna say. Let me challenge that real quick. Since he brought it up, and Wande she is that chick, Lady Rich Records.
Yeah,
definitely. She's a very powerful artist. No, she's not sponsored here, but I just really enjoy her music.
Me too.
But I'm gonna challenge that. So I mean, we're just gonna come from the mindset. Let's say they don't know Wande. Let's say they don't know that motive, and it's like, okay, when all I have is the money to talk to. Like, I know there's another artist that is, we're gonna say much more secular, but he's saying, all his friends are dead, and some people would translate that, into exactly.
I'm old, dog.
I feel you. It was brought to my attention, and I think they were excited, but I took a different perspective. They're saying all his friends are dead is based upon presidents, which again, of course, is currency,
right.
whatever the case is with that. And he's saying, his friends are what he considers to be his friends, which those terms of endearment that you go to, the people that you look to, your circle that motivates you, are dead in reference to dead presidents. So I'm saying, what do you tell the person that says, like, am I still gonna be? Yeah, I'm gonna still be happy, because I mean, a lot of it comes from the have-nots. Those that have understanding money is an object, it's a tool, it's a thing that's used to obtain things of real value. Meaning, the things the things your intellectual property, your abilities. People that go to trade schools, different things like that, where you can go and you can fabricate a staircase, or the person that can draw the schematic for a staircase. The money that we pay them is simply something that we've agreed upon, that this is going to allow again to get another good or service. So that's why people take other people's lives based upon this ability to get this currency, where their skill is actually in what they're executing, just like the person that fabricates. So to the person that is a have-not, that will say in their mind hasn't necessarily been elevated, what do you tell that person that says, yes, I'm still going to be happy, even if it's a belief because they've never had? So to that person where it's like, okay, when I don't have nobody to lay next to, and he's like, well, shorty, was only going to want me for my money anyway. Or, or her, it's like, oh, he just wanted me because he wanted another mama so I could take care of him because I am a person that has. So I would say, if I can't play devil's advocate, and just with that statement, how would you approach somebody with that mindset?
I want you to can you make that question, word that question a little bit differently for us so I can make sure I understand exactly what you say.
Okay, so I'm going to say to the person that's in the mindset or the belief, which we understand, belief is going to drive behavior, which is going to drive, perception as well as, the outcomes.
And action.
Right. That person that believes that obtaining the money. So when you phrase that question, are you still going to be happy based upon the song by One Day and, the other artists? And they're saying, they totally believe when they're saying, Nehemiah, yes. If I can look back and I got 6 figures in my bank account, I don't care if ain't nobody with me. I don't care if I don't burn a bunch of bridges. I got the money. With yourself, value is beyond that substance. But how would you combat that mindset? I would say that.
All right, so making sure I got this, I'm gonna answer a question. I'm gonna answer it, or basically tell somebody how to be happy without the money. That's what you're asking, basically.
Thank you.
All right, so let me say this. All right, so there's two sides to success. Okay, so what I have,
I got excited. Come on, yeah.
So
we going there? Yeah.
Success has 2 sides, right? So there's the emotional side, right? And then there's the actual, the intellectual or the things that we hold that, let me see, the tangible things, right? That's that side of success, right? But I'm gonna tell you something. What a part of one of the more intricate parts of what success really is the emotional side, right? Because the accolades or the house or the car or anything like that, you see that is not really what holds the substance for us. It's the emotional bonds that we have with people, right? To be able to trust somebody, right? That's successful, right? A relationship with somebody, something that we feel like we can go to them and just, have a place of comfort, right? That's success, right? To be for somebody to reciprocate love to you or to give love back to you, that is successful, right?
Boy, you get heavy. Come on.
I mean, because it's like if you don't have that side of success, then you really losing out, right? That's why people that's why they're in depression, right? Because they don't have the emotional attachment, because we're wired to want attachment. We're wired to want bonds with people. We're wired to want to trust somebody, right? God made us, if you read, you know what I'm saying? Hey, y'all already know, the minister, right? So, but if you read, right, God kind of made us in pairs, right? God made us in twos, right? Of course, he made the man first and then the woman, but his thing was, man shall not, it's not good for man to be alone, right? Before money was made, the thing that was made was attachment, right?
In the book of Genesis.
Come on, in the book of Genesis, right? God deemed attachment and emotions, right? And a pair or relationships with somebody as good. He didn't say money was good. He didn't say the accolade was good. He said, you're not supposed to be alone. He deemed a relationship something that is good, right? So
I got a relationship with my money though.
Oh man!
Because see, happiness is spelled MONEY, right?
Money. Not only that, it's your own personal definition of success.
Ooh, you bet. Now. Hold on.
I beg to differ from that.
Coach just went off the deep end.
No, that ain't it. That ain't
Come on
it.
with
no.
it. Come on.
Come on. You got,
All right.
come on. What you got?
All right. We got to throw the verses up on there. Verses.
Look, put it right in the middle.
There you go.
You got to figure out what's your definition of success, right?
Ooh,
so,
come on.
Like Josh, for one, some could be money. But, all right, let's be honest. What's everybody's definition of success? If you got a lot of money, right? You know what I'm saying?
I think that may be perspective. That's relative.
Perspective.
Because, you know, because I mean, I just want to say.
Okay, let me say, look.
Hear me out, coach. Hear me out, coach. Hear me out, coach. If Jeff Bezos, which if you don't know who Jeff Bezos is, the owner, CEO, majority owner of Amazon, has a son. Okay. I don't know that he would define success as money because he comes from it. Now, there may be a level of money he has to reach in order for, you know, I guess his peers to deem him a success. There's that pressure, but I don't know if his goal would necessarily be money. His may be affluence or acquisition to where, okay, his dad built this multi-billion-dollar company and, you know, he's at these other companies. But for this individual, I don't know if he would be able to define success by a dollar amount. Now, from those that have come from our, we'll say, tax brackets, yes, or some of our backgrounds, our environments, things that we've come up, you know, if you, for one, if you make it out the hood alive and you ain't got a whole bunch of kids and crazy baby mamas, or baby daddies, for my ladies, you know, you're deemed a success. You then become another statistic or part of the system. But on a grander scheme, yes, I would say the motive for the people that are what we would say have-nots is going to be money. Because, you know, in that mindset, when you don't have money, you think, you know, my source is going to be money. That's going to be my savior. That's going to be my go-to. But then you see those people that come from those backgrounds that acquire those things, and they say, like, I got paid, but I ain't get happy. You know, I was happy because, you know, yes, it's a resource. There's things I can do now. I don't have to, that's not a thing that's causing me anxiety, but the money didn't make me happy. What made me happy was, go ahead.
What's up? Hold on.
Yeah. Would you say that's majority of, what percentage of the world, United States state that, you know, being wealthy and having money ain't success? Isn't success?
That's the definition of the American dream, right? Married, 2.5 kids, white picket fence on a hill, middle class. Don't work your eyeballs out, but you know, you got enough.
Check this out. Go to college to be successful.
What are you doing? Sitting on your couch, man. Go to college. But I mean, I like how you put, you know, what is your definition of success? Because I think that portion is very important. That portion is very important. But, and I mean, I want my brother Nehemiah to, you know, because, you know, this is y'all versus I'm kind of the mediator. But I did want to push back just a little bit on the money aspect. But go ahead, Nehemiah. I really want to hear this. I think the crowd want to hear too.
So, man, look, it's what money brings or allows is what makes things successful, right? So, how many for the audience, right?
Yeah.
How many of us would want all the time to spend with our family to go to do whatever we want, right? To be able to have dinners when we want, go wherever we want, to do anything that we want, to
live on our own terms?
That just live on your own terms, right? Because in life, right, that's the things that a lot of the stuff that we desire, man, is to live life the way we want to live life, right? A lot of us don't want to get up, clock in, right? Yeah, but see,
live life. That's the thing.
But you gotta look at what I'm saying is, right? The money allows me to not have to clock in, right? By being wealthy, right?
Break that down, though. Hold on, don't speed past that. Break that down for me.
What do you mean, man? Money is the motivator. Come on, bro.
Nah.
Time, freedom.
Yes, having my freedom.
Right, not trading time for dollars.
That's it. Not trading. That's it. Being able to spend time with kids, with a wife, with having the space that I want in a house, right? To be able to go take them wherever they want to go, right? To be able to do whatever I want to do. That is a part of the motivation, right? Money, right? Money allows me to do those things, right? So money is not the motivation, right? The motivation is to get to over here right? Which is
wait on it.
having freedom and time.
I like what you did there. Left side of the menu, Jamal King, shout out at 2S Podcast. Or the right side of the menu. He pointed. We're trying to get to the side without no numbers on it.
Trying to get it. Look,
what we want, and now to be like, hey, if I get the $300 steak, I'm gonna have to work double overtime next week.
Nah. I wanna be able to. Well, put it like this. I would love to be wealthy. Right? That's what I want. My bad. You was about to talk, Lloyd. I'm saying we can let you go.
I was gonna say. I'll say that to you, though.
Oh, well, see, I would love to be wealthy, right? That's the goal. The goal is to be wealthy, right? The goal is to have boatloads of money, right? Boatloads of money, sir. Right? That's what we want in life, right? But, but I really, it's the side effect of having the money is what is the big part.
Wait on it. Now, hold on. I'm sorry, Coach. I just want to challenge that last statement. You said side effect. When you get a side effect, that means you took something or there's something that you can do to remedy your symptoms. Now we get back to the source here. Okay. All right, Coach. Go ahead, Coach. I ain't gonna mess with it. Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, as far as like what I was saying, like most people would think success is money and being able to get what they got. Just think about it. You take a young kid somewhere, you show them a big old nice house, car, and everything. They're like, oh man, these people are real successful. You show a person who beat the odds coming out the hood or whatever type of bad environment they got. They
come on.
High school diploma. Are they successful? Could they graduated? That could be their level of success of being able, or being the first one out the family to become a college graduate. That could be their level of success. I just say, like, people have different definitions as far as success, but I think most of the time, people out there in the world mostly think success mostly comes from like money. If I got a lot of money, I can do this and that, which is true. But guess what? How many famous people got tons of money and they miserable?
A lot.
But you already know money can't be your source.
Right.
But you know what? You can have billions of dollars. Can we take it with us when we die?
Nope.
Exactly, bro. Point blank period, bro.
I got a question for y'all then. First thing I want to do is just basically based upon what y'all was saying. No, I was gonna say what you were talking to. The first word that popped in my mind was exposure. And you say being a college graduate is a success based upon what standards? Okay, if there has never been a college graduate,
got you.
So we're gonna come from your source of information. Okay, where are you measuring? How are you, like they say in business, you can do things, but how do we scale it? And then we're gonna do these set of things that are measurable to see where we are, whether we're, pushing towards or we're drawing back from where we want to be doing. So I would say your level of exposure. So when you say you take these, because what you're talking about is mainstream media, or where most people get their exposure is going to be money, cars, girls, this allows you to do this. Not a lot of people are going to get what Nehemiah was alluding to earlier, the emotional side of success. Right, because what they're doing, they're quantifying your happiness to this piece of paper, which in turn is what it is. So I would say that level of exposure. So let me say that person that was the first high school graduate in their family, their level of exposure was, my people don't do this. So you're automatically a success because you did this in that regard. But that number one motivational speaker in the world, Dr. Eric Thomas, some respect on it. He said he gonna teach you how to do the triple double. To where, like you said, these people that are very successful, they have lots of money. So in business or their career, they're successful, but their kids hate them and their spouse hate them. And they have, like you said, they're miserable because they don't have those things. They got plenty of money. They're acknowledged in their field, but they ain't got the triple double.
Right.
And one thing, they're not living themselves. Go ahead.
One thing Nehemiah had mentioned real quick, and when he said time, like, we might look at time as, man,
come on.
You said spend time with your family, doing all this and everything. Some people gonna be like, I don't got no family. My family may help me with, trying to get their money, man. Man, that'll come later. Some people mind that, like, I ain't stepping my family right now. I'm just trying to run my checkup, man, and then we'll get with the family later.
Is that bad though? Because think about it. Think about where you're coming from. I'm about to say, look at the mindset of the people that are on this podcast. That's what I'm saying. Like, is it bad because it's in the situation? I guess it just depends on your perspective. Because from one, you're saying that you're denying your family, But then on the other end, it's like, okay, nobody in my family has ever got the bag. So what I'm trying to do is build the house and then move y'all in. But y'all just trying to keep us on the street, one bedroom shack. When it's like we deserve more, but nobody has. I won't say they don't have the vision. They did, but they didn't have the tenacity to go after it relentlessly. So you may have to shut that down where it seems like you're being selfish or uncompassionate. But in order to reach greatness, you had to take a level, and I can't reach into those resources because they've never gone there. That's just like me talking to Coach Lloyd, like, hey, bro, can you teach me string theory? Coach Lloyd doesn't know string theory, so he can't take me to that level. Nehemiah knows, we say, emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
So if I got him to mentor me on it, he could take me to that next level to where I'm now aware and I'm emotionally intelligent. So I would say in that regard, they may be like, oh man, you think you a big somebody. Favors, man, you think because you over there with the boys on the podcast, you doing something, huh? When in actuality, they're speaking their insecurities. You see what I mean? So I'm like, in that regard, yeah. Okay, yeah, I ain't on what y'all on right now. And it may seem like it's crude or crass, but I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to break generational curses. I'm trying to take this to where legacy doesn't suffer the way it has at this point. So in that regard, I'm like, bump y'all jokers. Yes, you don't have to like me right now, but you're gonna love me at the end. So I would say in that regard. But I mean, you know, I know you had someone that Nehemiah.
I mean, I guess I should just go ahead and go into it then, right? Because we talking about the source. You know, so hold on, Coach Lloyd, you got something you want to say before I get into it? Because I don't, you know what I'm saying, about to crack it open. You know what I'm saying? Get into it.
So what's your source? Come on.
Come on. Y'all folks been talking, y'all look, people that watch this podcast, you already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? But for the folks in the back, right? Jesus walking in the room. Right, for the folks in the back, I'm gonna say it again. Jesus Christ, God, right, is my source. Right, God, that's my source. Right, before, you know what I'm saying? It's before I even got to this point, man. Like, I wasn't happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want this level of, excuse me. I want this level of happy. I want this level of, well, just have this clear vision of where I'm, you know what I'm saying, where I'm going and all of this stuff, man. Like, I just didn't have this, I couldn't see this level of faith, right? I couldn't see just this level of prosperity, man, because like, I wasn't tapped into the source like I was. So my source now is Jesus Christ. It's God, man. You know what I'm saying? So I got something for you, right? Go ahead.
So with your source, man, how are you managing through the pandemic, man? There's so much going on.
Let me tell you. Look, look. These folks done gave out unemployment. Look, I'm a PT, right? One of my main sources of income is personal.
You gotta tell them now. What's a PT? Okay, I was about to say, what's a PT?
Personal training. All right.
Well, I'm part-time, y'all. I'm part-time.
One of my main sources of income is personal training. So you know that with COVID, it hit a lot of people like a ton of bricks.
Right.
We went from making thousands, right, a month to almost nothing a month. All right. I, on the other hand, right, did not receive not one drop of unemployment. I applied, got denied, got zeroed out because I guess because I'm an entrepreneur, I don't know exactly, right? But I got denied, right, for unemployment. So I ain't get that. I think folks was getting like $1,200 a month, well, a week, like $1,200 a week or $1,000 a week of unemployment. Zero. I didn't get none of it. So I got the stimulus, you know what I'm saying? But then they sent out, I think it's SAB or something like that, where it's for people that you own your own business, they was giving out $10,000, the loan that you have to pay back and all. Bro, I applied for it, got denied. My guy got denied. So I didn't get any money, right? I didn't get any money, but I'm gonna tell you something. 2020 has been one of the best years of my life.
How can you say that, bro?
The reason I'm gonna tell you the reason why I said this, because God gave me a plan. Right? God, I meditated, I talked to him, I consecrated, I got with him, right? And he said, do this, write this, do this, do this, right? And me believing in him, right? Me, that being my source, I acted on what he told me to do, right? So I got some of, I think I got like seven new certifications. Like, listen to that. In 2020, right? I think I got 7 new certifications, right? Which allowed me to add these multiple sources of income to the business, right? To what I do. Go ahead. What you got?
Hey, didn't you get them from getting them a little bit to nothing again?
Oh my gosh. Look, come on, man. Look, it didn't look, bro, like, and it didn't cost. Look, these courses, right? These courses, right? Some of them, like, you can go to Harvard and all these other places, right? And they giving away free courses, right? But I paid little to nothing for my certifications. It didn't demean the certification, right? It didn't demean what the information in there. Life-changing, right? Life-changing stuff. I want you to hear me. Life-changing stuff, right? Bro, and it didn't cost a whole lot, bro. Like, it just did not cost a whole lot, right? So that's how much I paid for it. It was like, I paid some, but I ain't pay thousands of dollars for each one of them. No, bro. Like, this is hundreds of dollars. You know what I'm saying? Hundreds of dollars for certifications that I was able to level myself up with, right? Because I was following the source, right? But I got all, again, 2020 been one of the best years of my life because I did what God told me to do, right? I forgot, Lloyd kind of threw me off a little bit with what I was saying. I was on the roll for a minute.
You said you had got with the source and you had a plan and you wrote.
Yeah, I had a plan, man. I had a plan, and like, bro, every time, like, God will, the gym shut down. I had an old client call me back, started back up, right? Out of nowhere, right? I had another client. He had another location we was training at, right? I was still, you know what I'm saying? Like, I still had money coming in, right? And God was still blessing because I trusted in what he told me to do, right? God is my source, right? I did not lack anything, right? God provided in other ways, right? Listen to me. I did not get a drop of assistance from the government. All right. Well, poquito, right? Stimulus check. Right. So a little bit, but that's what it was, bro. I got a little, you know what I'm saying? I got a little bit, but bro, God still kept on providing because I did what he told me to do. I tapped into the source, right? I followed and did what he said do. Go ahead, though.
You did. Oh, my bad.
Oh, I mean, what I'm saying, I can go into we can talk about some more. What you got?
All right, so as far as like source, what if people's source is not their faith? How can we?
What you want me to say?
What if people's source is not their faith? It's something different. Do you think they're what I'm trying to say here? Yeah, so if people don't have basically Josh always say they gotta be hopeful, ain't it, Josh? Josh,
I got some for that too. But
I mean, I can look biblically. This is my entire being, right? It's from God. Everything that I do and don't do, right? I follow what God say. Let me just say that, right? Let me put it like that, right? So look, God didn't tell me to have any other God before him, right? Because if my source is outside of him, then what? What am I looking up to? What am I following? Where's my strength coming from? If you go to Ephesians 6 and verse 10, right? Y'all know the scripture. Finally, my brethren, right? But look, so it says, this is Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 10. I'm reading from the King James Version, right? It says, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, right? God, Jesus, in the Lord, and in the power of his might, right? So, bro, it's like the Bible didn't tell me to look to myself. You understand what I'm saying? We supposed to look towards the hill where cometh my help. The hill was where God's where we look towards when it comes down to God. In the Old Testament, I ain't gonna get into all that. But either way go, God is where the hill is, right? The hill is where God is, okay? That's what we're talking about.
Some people might say President Trump, they source. He the one setting the money. They say he's setting the money.
I mean, go ahead. You see what's going on. If that's your choice, you know what I'm saying? That's what you trust in. You see what's going on with the country today, right?
Right.
Like, go ahead, let that be your source. But the right source, right? Let me just.
Okay. My next question. How confident do you have to be in your source? Like, how confident are you in your source?
100.
Like, we already know all three of our sources are faith, Jesus. So how? Oh yeah, you're right. You got to give it all 100%. Because based off,
I guess my thing.
Your belief.
Go ahead.
What you about to say, John?
I was just gonna say my thing is, I mean, if you don't subscribe to Jesus Christ, or we use the word faith, and I'll just use that. I mean, you could typically say something as the creator. It doesn't have to be Allah, it doesn't have to be Jesus Christ, Buddha, whomever, whatever the deity or whatever that thing is that you believe in, whatever you quantify, and you say, do you have trust in it? And well, you'll say confidence, which you quantify to trust at the top of the podcast. So I would just say, whatever that thing is, how are you quantifying or how are you validating this as a source? Meaning what we defined at the beginning is where something comes from or where it's obtained. As you just heard from Nehemiah, he's saying, Jesus Christ, the Lord is his source. That's where he finds his strength. That's where he finds his motivation. That's where he finds, his provision.
Right.
Anything that he needs is being pulled from that thing. So, I mean, if Donald J. Trump, or the presidency, whomever may wear that,
right,
man or woman, if that is what your faith is in, if it's in politics, if it's in stimulus checks, if it's in work benefits or lack thereof, whatever that thing is it a situation to where what Nehemiah or what we're alluding to as far as with faith, that's something that's infinite, that's beyond man, that's beyond finite. It's an infinite thing, meaning source. As if you've ever read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, he calls it the ether, or some people refer to it as the universe, where you speak it to this thing and it reacts according to your faith or your vibrational levels. So I'll say whatever you're quantifying, if you're believing in simply energies or vibrations or, atoms, everything is in motion, we're all interconnected. Whatever your source is it something that's finite, like a being or an object? Money is simply money until it's destroyed. But somebody would say that energy is simply transferred, it's not destroyed. So I would say if you can't quantify it to Jesus Christ, to Lord, to Creator, to whatever, if it is simply based on the energies and things, what is it that you pull from? And is it something that you can go to the well over and over and over again? If you don't solicit or subscribe to the same things that, like you said, we on the podcast have chosen to live by our faith, what we believe we've been called and been told to do, if that's not something that we say believe in or you get behind, whatever you deem your source, make sure that it's something that can quantify to something that's beyond yourself. Even if it's your higher self, if that's what you're soliciting to, your perfect self, then continue to reach to that, then that's what's going to continue to provide to propel you forward. That's what I would say to that.
And like we said earlier, being confident in it, it's basically like you trust this wholeheartedly, like you firmly trust it. So whatever you put your trust in, you trust in it. Because people say, oh, I put my trust in this. And, it may not be our faith or what we believe in, like as you mentioned, but they still made some progress somewhere. So they could be like, oh, well, you said I put my faith in myself, bro, and I did it myself, but, we might be more so like, hey, bro, you think you did it by yourself. You ain't do it by yourself. But you can't tell that other person, that they didn't at all.
Josh, I just want to, okay, just before you go there, I just wanted to if I can, Mr. Favors, I'm going to try to, because I mean, you brought a lot of value right there in a short time. But based upon what you were saying in that short snippet, what I got from it was saying that from your source, in order to reap these benefits of what carried you through, like you said, in this time of the pandemic, when so many things are going on, you aligned yourself with your source.
Yes.
Meaning you got into his will, your alignment with what that source was.
Yes.
And then you took action based upon that alignment, what you were told, the instructions you were given.
Yes.
And on top of that, with that action, it granted you favor, whereas the gym shut down, but your pockets didn't shut down. Mm-hmm. You got, out of the many ways you tried to replace that income, you were provided income outside of sources that you tried to go for. Once you were in alignment and you took action with your assignment. And so with that, you made an investment into this source, meaning your time, your reading, your alignment, your following, your meditations, those kind of things. And ultimately you submitted to that source. Yes. And then that's what allowed you to, like you said, continue to grow and this be the best year that you've had. Yes. So I'm just going to go over those again. If you got your pen and pad, this is the podcast. We bring in value. Make sure you got your pen and pad now.
There you go.
Yeah, bingo. What is that? Hey, I'm always taking notes, and I wanted the cast members. So it's going to be alignment, action, favor, investment, and then submission. Just keep those things. If you can write those things down, just when you're quantifying that source or you're qualifying that source, these are all things that are going to help you as far as defining what an adequate source is. Well, go ahead. What would you have for me, Coach?
Oh, man, take a few minutes to go ahead and write that.
Go over that again. Say that one more time.
Okay. So we're going to have alignment, or we're going to say alignment with source. Meaning you're recognizing this and you're going to align with the will, or in this particular case where he said his source is the Lord, he aligned in his will. He got aligned with what he was being instructed to do. And then once he received those instructions, he took action. So once you've gotten in alignment with that source, take action. Like they say, faith without works is dead. If you also listen to that book, basically, if you don't do nothing from nothing leaves nothing.
Right.
I can talk about, man, I'm about to go get this car. It's going to be the baddest car on the road, but I don't never leave my house. It just ain't going to happen.
That ain't going to
So
happen.
that's going to be action. And based upon your actions, it's going to allow you to grant you favor, or you're going to begin to see benefits based upon those actions.
Right. In
your alignment. And then on top of those actions, once you begin to get those benefits, you have to make an investment. So according to Coach, hey, I did this. I took up time with myself. I made it happen. But you're going to have to invest in that in order for that to grow. Most of the time when they speak about investments, it's like agriculture or a farmer. A farmer knows that the seed he plants today, his family doesn't eat off of it. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say that again. When you make an investment, it's like putting a seed in the ground. And just because I put it in the ground doesn't mean it springs up. There's work to be done in order for that to grow and that to sprout and that to feed my family. It means I can't eat from the seed until I put the work in for it to grow. That's a whole other podcast, but we're going to keep it moving. Investment. And then ultimately submitting unto that source, meaning you surrender unto this process. And that's how these things began to elevate. This is what's going to quantify your source, your existence, these things right there.
Right. Hey, y'all.
Yeah.
Personally, you can.
Hey, man, then you got to get on the grind.
Got to.
So, man, you got to up it up a little bit. It got to be.
Every day.
Yeah.
Make it a great day.
Too. Like,
every day.
Especially on these days and time. Josh, I know you have I think you got a couple more questions for you. You might have like one or two questions.
Yeah, I had a couple just based upon and what we were kind of talking about. So I want to walk you through to this point. Because I mean, these jokers came in here swinging, dropping bombs like off top. So I know it can be a lot of information just coming in. We make it fun with high energy. We love doing what we do. But the question was, what is your source? Now you've been given a ton of information already based upon, what the source is. We've given you the definition, meaning it's going to be where something is from or how you can obtain it, what you get from it.
Right. And
then we back the source based upon your confidence in the source, meaning your level of trust in the source. 1 and 2, I mean, they're working together. As Nehemiah told you what his source was, and he said, I'm sold out. I'm 100%. I'm all in. And there was a term that was taught to me by an older gentleman, probably right as I was about to get out of high school. And he used to always ask me how I was doing. And then, you know, of course, I would reciprocate, you know, and yourself. And he'd say, I'm just right. And it used to puzzle me, but he explained that to be just right means I'm not too high, I'm not too low, I'm exactly where I should be.
I like that.
I'm exactly where I want to be. So I was like, ooh. Not knowing, you know, destiny was calling even in that moment, but I'm like, ooh, I want to be just right. Like I ain't over my skis, but I ain't falling down the hill either. Like I'm just right. We moving, because when you in what you're supposed to be in, you moving good.
Right.
So my next question is going to be is how has your source been working out for you? And I want to pose that to anybody that's listening. And I mean, you could drop that in the comments. I mean, you can hit us up on any, you know, social media, wherever you find us, wherever podcasts are going to be. And I'm sure everything is down in the description if you want to come follow us, work with us, book us, whatever the case. But I want to know, how has that source? So as Coach said earlier, you know, hey, I'm that dude. I got that dog. Like I make it happen. Ooh, how has it been working out for you? My source is Donald J. Trump. The presidency is doing everything I needed to do. How has it been working out for you? I trust in the Church of Scientology. How has it been working out for you?
Right.
Or you that person that's like, man, I don't trust none of these jokers. All online, it's all man-made. They just use that to control us. Cool. That's fine. But how has it been working out for you? And if you're satisfied with the results, hey, it's your life. They used to have to say, YOLO, you only got one to live.
Mine been working.
You only live once.
Come on.
So, like I said, this isn't a podcast to tear anybody down.
Right.
But what I'm telling you is, if you're not happy with your source,
yeah, bro.
I get excited. I start getting bubbly. Like, if you're not happy with your source, or we'll say happy with your results, there's gonna be two things I need you to check. One is your source. Two is your process.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it ain't the source. Sometimes it's process. They got this thing in math, at least in America, if you're not in America or you're not watching this and you're somebody from America, called the order of operations. This thing in this really old book that my brother here was just referring to, talking about the King James Version, where there's an ordinance of things, meaning there's an order that you do things in. So, okay, they got this thing called PEMDAS. We ain't gonna break it all down because this ain't a math lesson. But based upon these letters, there's a certain way you do things, meaning he couldn't go straight to investment and he hadn't aligned with the source.
Right.
He couldn't expect favor and he hadn't made an investment.
Yeah. Or
he hadn't taken any action. Or you jump straight into the action, but you haven't completely submitted after you've aligned yourself with it. Go ahead,
so
bro.
You mean to tell me investment mean putting in the time?
Putting in.
Man, what? That means investment means put that work.
Yeah.
Investment means time, money, sweat, tears. Investment could mean no sleep. Another investment can mean going to sleep. You're behind tearing stuff up because you ain't getting enough rest.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Right.
So the investment is just gonna be, what are you trying to obtain? My brother is a personal trainer, and I'm sure you can attest to rest being an important part just as much as showing up in the gym and doing the workout. Just as much as the dietary assessment. I mean, you know, yeah. I mean, you know, he can flex on him. Hit him with the flex.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I ain't gonna do too much.
You know. But I mean, even with yourself, as far as the investment could be based upon you're doing everything else right, but you didn't first believe you could. Or you believed you could, but you wasn't on the grind. You see what I mean?
Man,
like you can't have one without the other. Like people think I can just be successful by action, but they don't have a plan. They have nothing written down. So what I'm gonna say is, based on your source, that's gonna provide all of that for you. He says he has the order of operations in the book. He gave him instruction. Do this, now do this, now do this. And what he began to see is, he said, plow the field, drop the seed,
right,
cover the seed, work the soil, water it, allow it, pull the weeds away from it.
Yeah.
And then he provides the increase, meaning everything sprouts up.
Oh.
So what I'm saying is, make sure you find your order. So again, if he did that order of operations wrong, then I pose that question to him, like I just did to you. Are you happy with your results? Are you happy with your source? How is it working out for you? I was trying to grow corn, Josh, but I just kept getting strawberries. Well, maybe you got the wrong seed.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna even get into seed. That's a whole other podcast in itself too. So what I want to tell you is, in that regard. So what I want to ask you is your source your faith? Whatever that may be, if it's creator, if it's, you know, if it's God, if it's Allah, if it's whomever, whatever.
Audience tonight, boy. Big.
And so then I would ask, is it in man? Which man is an imperfect, if you want to go science, animal, creature, mammal, if you want to go, you know, the basis of human error, is not a 100% surefire thing. You can do as best you can, but most people that live in a bubble don't really live. You can save that, you know, maybe for later on. And the last thing is it an object? Is it money? Is it something that can be obtained? Is it something that came out of somebody's imagination? Somebody went over somebody's head. I want you to think about that. Is it something, because I want you to think about from what we're speaking into, to the medium that we're using, to the currency that we're using, to the thing that you drive around in, to the thing that you live in. All of these are fabrications that came out of somebody's imagination that made it real. Mm-hmm. That should indicate where the power actually lies, not in the object. Your greatest asset is time, because it's finite. Everybody only got a certain amount. What we're doing now, you only got 24. But why are there billionaires and then there's people that got a credit score so low it don't even show up?
God bless you, Lord.
And there's a lot that goes in. There's this thing that goes, there's a date on your tombstone. There's a dash, and then there's another date. And the last time I checked, now there may be some farmers out there that I ain't been exposed to, but the last time I checked, the dash in the center is not nearly as long as the two dates. But everything, your legacy, is in that dash. Who were you? And all of that's gonna come down to your source. Because if your source is a fraud, guess what your dash is?
It's a fraud.
If your source was inadequate, guess what your dash is?
Inadequate.
But man, if it is the finest of the fine, if it's the toppest of the top, if it requires that you become the best version of yourself, that is what your dash is. So that I would then, again, like Coach said, form the question: what is your source? So I'll pose this question to these two gentlemen here for our listening audience, and also for those that may be watching the podcast via our shameless plug, our YouTube channel, The Gifted Exchange. Could you guys kind of break down using your own, I'll say your own analogy, based upon, I want to say, your personal experience from the stages of when you first began to align with your source to the point where you had completely submitted to your source? I'm gonna start with Coach Lloyd on this one. He looks like he's pondering. He got that.
I like that.
Go ahead. That pinky in the brain. He got something playing.
Like they say, man, first you gotta figure it out. And then after you figure it out, you gotta make up your mind to do it, bro. If you don't make up your mind, if you don't make up your mind to do it, or you don't believe that you can do it, but you know, you can believe, but you also gotta have that extra belief, like you said, whoever your faith, whatever source, you know, whatever your faith is into whatever source that may be. But I definitely say that you have to first align yourself up and know what you want, as well as sometimes you have to be by yourself. I say like meditate as well, like be by yourself and decide like what you want to do. Like you really got to get by yourself and decide what you want to do, because you know what? Guess what's gonna come? That self-doubt, man. That self-doubt gonna come and try to hit you like it ain't no other. Because you can have, if you say you have faith in your source, that means you firmly, you know, firmly trusting in your source. But it's gonna become times between your life and your experience to challenge it if you really have faith in that source. You know what
Come
I'm
on,
saying?
coach. I need a personal experience. I want them to know Coach Lloyd's personal experience.
Say that question over again. Explain what you access.
So what I'm saying is I want to hear a personal experience from when you, because I know the number one question I would probably see in the comments is how do I find my source? Where do I? So I want them to have a personal, because you all have gone on this journey. You're two successful business owners. I mean, you've overcome a number of things in your life. You come from our first episode, from how we explain our upbringings, where we come from, why we do what we do, to where we are now. We're not saying we're on the mountaintop, but the question is from your personal experience, from where you aligned to your source to the point where you completely submitted to your source. And we're a transparent podcast. So I'd be like, hey, bro, I'm still working on my submission. Hey, keep it 100, baby. We humans. But it's real. So I want to hear like your personal experience. You'd be like, hey, I took a test and I began to align, I got the favor, or I went for this job, or I started my business, whatever, just from a personal experience, because we want to make sure, we're not talking like, this is Mount Rushmore, we talking down. This is real life, your personal experience when I began to align to the point to where I was completely sold out for
it. You want me to go? You go ahead. You go ahead and finish up.
Definitely from personal experience. If you venture out, man, trying to do your thing, man, you really got to ask God about it. And, you ask God about it, also put in the work. I know when I first started and when I first got my LLC, man, I was, pumped up and excited. But each year the Lord, me put my faith in the source, he had blessed it to go up a little bit high each year. But like I said, man, it'd be days where you might say, hey, guess what? I'm in the middle. I don't know which way to go. I just want to give up and stuff like that. So when you feel like that, that's when you got to look deeper in your source. All right. Like you said, my source is by faith. So guess what? I'm going to pray. I'm going to fast about it. I'm going to talk to some people who support my ideas as well as spiritually, as well as like naturally. You know what I'm saying? Try to get some feedback from them so I can make sure that I stay focused on keeping my confidence up. Because I'm telling you, man, it be throughout them years, bro, you'll be like, man, this worth it. Then the Lord will send somebody by, whoop, be like, hey, man, bro, I seen you, man. What's going on, man? What's going on with the fight? Hey, Josh used to hit me up, bro. Josh and Nehemiah hit me up out of nowhere. And man, sometimes even like random people, that be just what you need to kind of get you like, boom. All right, I'm about to go. So that's one of my success stories, I believe. I got plenty of them, but
oh yeah, I know you full of.
So before I was heard partly part of this before, right? I'm putting like this, y'all know the pie, y'all done heard the episodes, the people that already watch, but it was God had planted a seed. Let me put it like this, right? Once I found out how, reword this all over again, right? When I first started to want to lose weight and stuff like that, and I started to my personal development journey, right? What got me into this was I realized that I was good at it, right? Or that it was possible. I was like, dang, like the feeling of I feel good about myself and all this stuff like that, right? That when I started to be like, dang, man, I feel like I can do this for somebody else, right? So, and then like not realizing, but I didn't realize that it was a gift, right? That I already had, because in the process, my brother was along with me, right? And people that know me, they know my brother, he was heavier than me, right? So, and he had ended up, you should see him now, like he was like close to 300 pounds, right? And like now he's down this, like close to 200 pounds now, right? So not realizing that, God had to place this on me to be able to really, teach people, right? And so it it came up in this version of physical, right? So I can show you how to use your body, I can tell you what your body needs. I can break it down for you and just look at you and be like, oh, okay, cool. Your body needs this. This needs to be strengthened. You need to be able to do this. You need to be doing that, right? You need to be able to do that, right? So that was the beginning of this. So along the years, right, it kept evolving, right? God let me keep on.
That cat frame down, man. I like that.
That way, say evolving power, right? But as time went on, though, like as I was continuously trying to figure myself out and see what I wanted to do, I was committed to being the best version of myself. And it just over time, God would allow one situation to come up. All right, this one of the situations was I was with a young lady and she was telling me like, hey, and I was working security, right? And I was trying to be a trainer and be a security guard at the same time. Right, and we was both trying to make it. So she was like, "Hey, why don't you just go ahead and get your certification so you can apply to a gym? Like it's a big corporate gym. Most people know it. I ain't gonna plug them, but most people know it." And
hit the email in the description below. Go ahead and sponsor the podcast.
Yeah, and that opened the door for me to learn how to talk to people, right? Because I didn't get a job as a trainer. But what it taught me was how I need to communicate with people in order to get them to buy a product, right? So I didn't know that I was a speaker, right? But I have been told when when giving a presentation in schools, like people like, man, I like the way he speaks. Me not knowing this though, right? So God allowed me to go through a situation that would help me along the way to hold my gift even more, right? So then I lose this. All right, I don't know if I'm taking too long. It's too long for y'all. We good. All right. So
it is helping somebody.
God allowed me to lose that. All right. And then the next thing after that was I was able to do this for myself now, right? To add this onto my own business. So I went and worked at another gym where I could train people, right, and sell my own training at the same time. I didn't have to go through anybody else. There was no middleman. It was just me and people on the floor, right? So now I'm able to learn how to run my own business now, right? My own processes. I have to do everything myself. So this continuously kept evolving, right? So God kept allowing other situations to come up to where they'll make me train the PT manager, right? So now I'm managing people, right? I'm over people, showing them how to do things, how to talk to people and all these other things like that, right? So things just continuously kept on evolving. God will add onto your gift, right? The thing that you are great at, right? The thing that you might be passionate about, right? That's a part of your process to getting you where you need to be in God. Right. So that's what we talk about to get aligned with the source. Right. So this is, and go like this. So after a while, right, bro, it's just, you come to this point where you learn so much, or you learn a certain amount, and then God will, I've seen it for myself where I was struggling. I mean, straight year in and year out, I was struggling financially. Right. And I could not, the way that I thought that I should go about doing, it's just like, it just wasn't in me to go that way. So I kept struggling. Right. And then God allowed a situation to come up to where he sat me down and he was like, he advanced me spiritually because I was still struggling spiritually. So I finally, when this situation came up, right, I finally said, you know what? I am done with doing things my way, right? Because year after year, I failed, right? You go into the cold season of personal training, and then it never works out. You see what I'm saying? It never works out. So God, he finally put it where, like, bro, I'm gonna give you this plan, right? And I've seen it for myself where every time, well, when I would get a certification, somebody would come to me with those problems that was needed. I want you to hear what I'm saying. The same problems I just learned how to solve, God would send somebody for me to help solve the problems with, right? You understand what I'm saying? That needed coaching in that situation, that exact situation, you will see doors open up. as you do what God tells you to do, right? As you continue to nurture your gift, right? The tool that God gave you in order to be successful, right? As you continue to nurture those things and act in those things and align with what he's telling you to do, right? Which is acting your gift and serve him and use it to glorify him, then you'll see doors open up, right? You'll see yourself start to grow. You'll see your business start to mature. The things that you're supposed to do, you'll see everything start to change around your environment will change, right? So those are stepping stones. I don't know if that was but until this day, it's like now, it's like, bro, I hear God all the time. When they say it's time for me to get another certification, it's time for me to learn about something, I hear him say, get that. Or I'll think about something and I'll look it up and he'll say, get it. Right? And then it'll just keep on evolving from there. It'll just keep on going to you. And then like after I think about it, he'll give me the thoughts and you can see the vision of what to do with it. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
It just keeps on coming. It keeps on coming, but it's just about, doing what God wants me to do. My whole me is I want to help people in the way that God wants me to help people, not nobody else with the gifts that I have. That's what it is. All right. Like, y'all go ahead.
I was gonna say this real quick too. When I was obtaining my life coach certification, bro, we had to do a practicum or whatever. Man, it was crazy because the practicum that I had to do was the same exact boat that I was in. Because it was like, you know how sometimes you get to a point where you be trying to finish stuff and you get in the middle and you just be stuck. Okay. That's what type of client I was working with. I was like, bro, I've been saying I'm gonna start this and then, I always get stuck. So when I went through that process and she was coaching us on how to deal with that, I was like, man, with this LLC, with this life coach certification, man, I ain't gonna stop. I'm gonna keep going with it. So, like I said, that was in 2015, if I'm mistaken. So now I'm still, by the grace of God, I'm still bumping. But that was like 2015, 2016, because right when I had left college, I didn't know like which route to go. I was like, man, I know I want to help folks, but like what's next? So the crazy thing, I was the youngest guy in that class at the time. I was probably like 21. I was the youngest out of all them people. And, they were just saying like what inspired you and stuff like that. And I oftentimes I was up to my dad and, the men that was placing my life, the preachers and stuff that I was placing in my life, like, man, I just want to try to help somebody, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I was telling them it was kind of like driven, because you have, like they say, you run into a lot of people who could be like mentors, anybody could be considered as a mentor to you, but even working with those people, they kind of helped me get that. I know they love for God and stuff like that too as well, but you know what I'm saying? For me, seeing me trying to help different people in that type of space, that would also made me wanted me to help me become a life coach and want to pursue it even more. You know what I'm saying? Space.
I love it, man. I love it. Definitely love it. And I mean, I'll just, as far as through my own personal experience, as far as when it came to from alignment to complete submission, it was a situation. I was actually speaking with Nehemiah about it earlier today, and we kind of had this conversation on and off. But it was just basically walking into my calling, and he actually shared a video with me, which somebody else sent like moments later, sent the exact same thing. And what I was, it was a video from 2017. I believe it was 2017. And I mean, there was a lot going on in my life, and I just kept, if you follow me on social media or Facebook in particular, I had just put up a post saying, I got tired of hearing just be happy. And it was like, when I knew I was meant for more, but I kept running from it. Like, oh, you're doing this, you're doing this. And I was like, that ain't the way I want to do it. But like you're saying, when you're in alignment and you have a calling or you have something that you're, like they say, I think it was Mark Twain said, 2 dates that are most important is the day that you're born and the date that you realize why. Like what that purpose is, whether that's, you're the best trash man that was ever meant to be in your time, or, you're a world-renowned speaker, artist, writer, whatever the case may be. You're just the best mom to those kids anybody's ever had. And that was like in 2017, that's really when I began to accept, or I began to align myself. I got tired of getting beat though. Like I was getting whooped. Yeah. Everything I was trying, everything, it just kept failing. It was failing. And I was like, man, I'm not a failure. Like, why does this stuff stop working? Like, why is it not working? I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this. But it's like, if that ain't what you're supposed to be doing, you're never going to be completely fulfilled. And it was basically like, son, get in alignment with me. Like, it's not going to work. Stop trying.
Yeah.
This is what you're meant to do. And when I finally, you know, it's like, all right, I'm done being stupid, God. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Like, this is what I've been called to do. This is the gift set. This is the skill set that I've been given. Walk in what I'm, because it's like, I want to give you, it's like a father to their child. I want to give you so much. I have so much prepared for you. But you keep trying to go over here. Why are you trying to be a carpenter? You're not a carpenter. Like, stop trying to be a carpenter. Yes, you can learn the skill, but it's never going to be to your full potential, because that's not the avenue for you. And this is what the source can do for you. And I mean, once I finally got into alignment, once I finally started taking action, and it was like, I mean, I was raw. And I mean, a lot of people with analysis paralysis, you want to be so great, or you have this end vision, but you're so scared to start. You're trying to think of it. You're not going to think of everything. You're just not. You're going to fail at something. It's going to be bad. So like, it's like, you gotta get started. The most important thing is getting started. Like we said before, tilling the ground, dropping the seed. So basically, once I began to drop those seeds, you're gonna call me Johnny Appleseed. I was going ham. I was dropping videos. I was talking to everybody. I was having meetings. Wasn't nobody showing up. I didn't even care. I had that zeal. I was walking in what I was supposed to be walking in. And I knew that if I kept doing the work, something was gonna happen. If I kept taking consistent action, even if it was imperfect. I got up and I spoke in front of churches. And a lot of people was like, I didn't even know you had that in you.
Yeah.
I got up and I began to see where there was reasons where when people would be drawn to my house and we would have conversations 2-3 o'clock in the morning, to the point where the sun is starting to come up, and they've been there all day since the day before, and now they're talking about cooking breakfast. They didn't want to leave. That was part of the gift. That was part of the reason. That was part of the experience. When he said, you're in alignment, I'm going to provide. Nehemiah just told you.
Hey, Josh.
Coach Lloyd just told you. What's up?
Josh, even if you at a wedding, right?
Bro, hey, even at the wedding, bro, you blessing everybody. You know what I'm saying? No holds barred. It'll show up in those things when you operate. And the thing is, you're doing it effortlessly. I would do it for free.
Mm-hmm.
And it started getting to the point where people began to pay me. Like Nehemiah was saying before, once I began to get in certain alignment with certain things, whether it's certifications, certain groups, I found myself going from the guy that was scared to speak, that didn't think I had anything, that was scared to lead, to now they're putting me on calls at 6 o'clock in the morning, saying I was speaking to hundreds of people in the morning, getting their day started, to where they're putting it up on the social media. I'm getting calls, I'm getting inboxes. It's like, man, you really blessed me on that. Like, I mean, if I miss a couple of days, what's going on? You know, I needed this, I needed that. And it was kind of like, wow, okay, this is what the source will do for you when you began to get alignment, taking that consistent action. And then I began to receive these fruitful things. Now, what I don't want you to get the fruits being confused with is money. He said early in the podcast, your definition of success could be, I touch somebody and that helped them get through a time period. It doesn't mean that there's an exchange of tender to where I gave you $150. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't just be giving your stuff away. I mean, it's intellectual value. You can be paid for what you're doing. Don't misread me. But what I'm saying is that's not always the case. Sometimes you have to bless somebody, and the blessing isn't based upon what they're going to give you. You're just fulfilling your purpose. You're doing what you're supposed to do. Right. Whether you reap that benefit now or 20 years from now. And the thing is, I began to create these relationships with people, and they began to pay dividends. So once I got in alignment, took that action, and I started being granted favor, things started happening. And I began to make more and more of an investment. So from 2017, 2018, 2019, and now 2020, now I got these two brothers. And like Coach Lloyd was saying, it would get on me. Hey, man, what's going on? Like, you're doing something great. We found out at the wedding, like, hey, we on the same page. I'm trying to help you. You trying to help you. We trying to, personal development. Mm-hmm. Then I mean, my brother Nehemiah, out of nowhere, right. Just so happened, going to a graduation ceremony. Boom, there you go. Look at it now. Hey, we partners. Mm-hmm. Funny how it works, right? But when you're in alignment, these things will happen. Right. And now these things are beginning to birth other things, and you're beginning to see, okay, wow, you're literally taking this journey with us right now. And I'm just so excited to look back at 10 years at a podcast, and it's like, man, this is where we came from. This is why we kept going. This is why we did what we did. And the thing is, if you make the investment now, if I dig the dirt now, if I get my hands dirty now, if I pull the weeds now, when the stock grows and it's time to harvest, it's going to be game time.
Yes, sir.
Then you begin to read. Then you begin to share. Then you begin to expand. Then you begin to see these things that you work for. Everybody want to go straight to the roof when it's time to build the house. When you got to start with the foundation, and it's the dirtiest part. It's the part don't nobody see.
Say it, bro.
Somebody got to dig the hole. Somebody got to pour the concrete. Then you start to build a house. You can't build a wall and the windows first. Everybody want what everybody can see inside. No wall is gonna stand if your foundation ain't good. So that the source has to be the foundation based upon it. I got tired of getting beat. So if you're tired of your results, and the thing is, you got to trust the process. I'm gonna say it again for the people in the back. I'm gonna say it again for the people in the front because I know you ain't listening. You got to trust the process. It wasn't until I got into alignment and different things started happening that my marriage got better. My friendships got better. My speaking ability got better. And somebody hit me up and said, I think you done lost your passion. Josh, you want to know what that did for me? I could have took that like, oh man, they a hater. No, it revved my engine. I got to go harder. I got to do more. I got to say more. I got to move in alignment the way I'm supposed to move because when I move, he moves. And they said in the song, it's just like that. And then something starts to happen. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Something starts to happen. And when things start to happen, then I can reach you through this medium, which means I'm going to give you something. These fellas are going to give you something that's going to help you through your week. This is why we're taking this time. This pandemic is destroying people's lives.
Yeah.
And their livelihoods.
Yeah, bro.
They're saying that they're estimating that they're looking at about 23 to 33 million people being without homes after they lifted this non-eviction moratorium. That means people ain't got nowhere to stay. That means people on the street. That means more crime because now I got to feed my family and I have no source of income. Not to mention everything that's going on outside. Whether you solicit to wearing a mask or not, you think it's a hoax, whatever the case, people dying. And you can't go tell that person who they parent, they sister, their cousin, their brother, their uncle, their grandmama, the deacon in the church, whoever, the wino on the end of the street, that it ain't real, but it's real for them.
That's right.
So you need to find out what's going on, get through this pandemic. You need to find a source. You need to take some consistent action. And if you're watching this, if it ain't for you, give it to somebody else. Hit the share button, hit the like button. Stop being selfish. We don't do this just for us. We giving it away for free. We ain't charging you nothing. And the only thing is, when we don't charge you, you don't see value. We giving you this for free. Give it to somebody that need it. I'm tired of hearing people that committing suicide. It's about to be about 23 to 33 million people out on the street. You don't think that these emotions gonna be high? You don't think that they need some confidence? And if you ain't got no source, you ain't gonna make it.
Sad.
Facts. You don't have to validate me. Facts. I come from the gutter. Facts. Do something different. I ain't saying you gotta choose my source. I ain't saying you gotta like the podcast. But you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that done died from COVID. That done lost their job. And now they ain't got, outside of this new executive order that just happened with Donald J. Trump. Get with the program. It's time to get busy. So the thing is, you want to be better. Get with somebody that can make you better. Stop thinking that you can do it by yourself. No, you can't.
All right.
I can give you an ear of corn right now until you go out there and go grow out of stock. If you don't know how to do it, you don't know how to do it. Doesn't make you a bad person. Give somebody that does.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I should give an iPhone all y'all money. You know how to make an iPhone? No, but you go get it.
Right.
I mean, you in line for the new J's. How many pairs of J's you done made? But you go get them. My brother said he got 7 certifications. I think that may qualify him to give you some information. I'm not a scholar, but something tells me he put some time in. And you think because you watch YouTube videos, you're going to be where he at. That just ain't how it works. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This may be a little rough on you. This that podcast. You can't always be nice and, yes, you guys are going to make. No, that don't get stuff done. He's a personal trainer. Coach Lloyd is a coach. Sometimes you got to get dirty. You got to get nasty. But the thing is, you have so much potential. You have so many opportunities. Get your butt in the gym. Get your butt behind the computer. Get your butt on these certifications. Get somewhere and create your economy. If this ain't made you a hustler, if this pandemic ain't brought the hustle out of you, you ain't got none.
Oh, yeah.
But we got something for that, too. As things blow up, come on and come join the Gifted Exchange. We can give you some work. You can pass out flyers. You can greet people at the door.
Let's go.
You can be one of the ushers. You can help build the program. You can help build the system. You can help build the website. People follow with vision. My people perish for the lack of knowledge. So go find somebody with some knowledge and do something. So my next question, or I say my next thing I want to pose to y'all is, when you hear the phrase, based upon the mindset that you're in right now, the only limitations you have are those you set for yourself.
You said what?
The only limitations you have are those you set for yourself.
Amen.
That's true.
So I want you to break that down as far as, if we're gonna say, give me a scenario where that was true in your life. I know that's putting you on the spotlight. Some people call it stinking thinking, or a lack mindset.
Oh, I don't know if this kind of go with it, but I'm gonna just say it anyway. Man, I'll never forget, man. I was about to get my bachelor's degree at that point in time, so I procrastinated, bro. And I procrastinated. I waited to do this. This paper's probably like 12 pages, bro. But I waited to do it long. But what happened was I misquoted, bro. And my senior teacher, he was big on what's called plagiarism. So, bro, he read my paper, and he marked down the quotes that I had missed, right? Bro. Gave me a complete zero. And if you got a zero, that means you failed in class, bro. And I was like, hold on, man. No, man, I'm about to take him to the board. This man, I'm trying to say this man racist, this man this and that. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be all like that. But when I sit and at that point in time, I couldn't. I didn't get my. Well, I had to wait to get my degree at that time because he had gave me that zero or whatever. But this was for my bachelor's degree, bro. So after that, I was like, man. At first, that kind of give me a little down. I'm like, oh, it's back like my first. It's back like my first one. It's back like my first time when I had explained about me having trouble with the high school graduation or whatever. But it kind of brung up those sparks or whatever. But anyway, I had to come to the conclusion. When all that passed, I came to the conclusion that I had to come back and hold on 1 minute.
You want to have any favors?
All right, but I never. Well, man, sex. Right, this is blank. Being able to stop, being able to be celibate, right? That was a hard thing for me. So today I am successful. All right. Today I'm successful. Right? It's been a good long time. Right? Been a good long time. So setting that limitation on myself. I mean, and then of course, like just normal self-doubt when it comes down to believing if you can really make a change, or if you can really pass different tests that you take, or just level up in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, just of course those doubts are always there. So that's really it, setting those limitations on myself. But going back to the Ephesians 6 and 10, it's not my might that I depend on, right? I believe in what God has given me, but I really believe in what God has told me to do and his power to make things happen, right? So I put those two together, right? One is above, or they're synonymous, right? They go together, right? Believing in what God has given me and believing in God himself that he can perform the things that he said that he can perform.
And real quick, man, I'm sorry about that mix up. Oh, I was just about to say, like, at that time, I tried to blame it all on him, but I had to realize that was me. You know what I'm saying? That I waited to the last minute and stuff like that. And not only that, I had the resources even before to, go reach out if I needed help as far as like with quoting, but I just actually misquoted. So I had to come back and apologize to him. And I was like, man, I was trying to say you was this and that, man. Like, I'm really sorry. You know what that man said? By the grace of God. But he said, you don't need have to do nothing in the class. Just resubmit that paper, fix that. And that was it, bro. So I was like, I guess with the, I guess they kind of related to like setting different like limitations to myself. Because at that one point, I was about to say, man, yeah, part of me like, man, forget it, man, you this, you that. But it really wasn't his fault. It was my fault. And I had to wake up, realize, bro, you can't blame that on your mistakes, what you did. You the one that didn't take the time to plan out stuff or go ahead.
That's
so
back
it worked out.
forward.
Yeah.
I got you. That's lit though. That's another form of it. That's a good one. But it's right there.
Yeah, man.
All right, bro.
Take responsibility.
Take us out.
Take us out.
If you, I believe you got one more thing to say. You got one more, Josh.
Oh no, I'm gonna say I want you to go ahead. I'm gonna finish it up. I want you to go ahead and lead us into, the final nugget of the day.
Who, me?
Yes, sir. Who else? Who, me? Yes, you. Could be. Then who?
Thou'st need to get you the right source, right?
Uh-oh.
This ain't no bash to nobody, anything like that. But I serve God, right? And realizing that me trusting in anything else besides Him does not work for me. When I have anxiety, right? Because I am, I specialize in emotional intelligence, like Josh was saying, right? I help you with managing your anxiety, your depression, your self-confidence, your self-love, life in general, right? But I help you with your thought process. And one of the major things that people, right, that I have seen that people are missing is they don't have the source, the right source, right? We trust in ourselves too much, right? And when I made the full switch to God and solely depending on everything or just what I need to be doing when you talk about seeking God before we do anything, right? The Bible talk about that. I'm paraphrasing. I ain't got the right scripture exactly. But,
seek you first.
Hey, come on, somebody. Look, come on. But you good. Look, but you got to have the right source, all right? You see that the world is failing you, right? And I don't want to cause you any anxiety here, right? But what I want to do is I want you to switch your thinking, right? Because you can't trust. Let me put it like this: you can't have confidence in the power of man, right? You have to have the confidence in what created man, right? All the power and all the glory goes to God, Jesus Christ. You come to the Son first, and then you go to the Father. You can't get to the Father without going to the Son. He says, I am the way, I am the gate. No, man, if you come up any other way, you are a thief and a robber, right? Anybody else is a thief and a robber. So you have to go to the source, right? Go to Jesus Christ. Repent, be baptized for the remission of your sins. You shall receive the gift of the Holy Ghost. The Holy Ghost is the source. I want you to hear me. Listen to what I'm saying. The Holy Ghost is the source, not anything else, right? The power that you want, the clarity, right? The peace, the love, the joy, the everything, right? Your purpose is in God. Ecclesiastes is talking about the whole duty of man is to serve God. That's the first thing. We got to start serving God. Then he gave you some gifts, right? So you go into Corinthians, it's going to talk about your different gifts. There's different things that we have in order to serve him, right? The tool is your gift. Nurture the gift. That is the source. The Holy Ghost is the source, but this is the process about how to go about doing what you need to do in order to be happy, right? Change your source, period. The Holy Ghost is the source. Receive the gift of the Holy Ghost. And if you need to know how to receive the Holy Ghost, you go to, you already know, shameless plug, right? bssgrind on the YouTube, man. I talk about how to be spiritually balanced. I talk about receiving the gift of the Holy Ghost, right? It's on the channel, you know what I'm saying? Link might be in the description. The link will be in the description below, right? Type it in, right? The video's up. If you really want to know, talk to one of us or talk to me. Then, hey, look, I'm gonna put myself. I ain't gonna put that on them. I'm gonna put it on me real quick. Hit me up. All right, hit me up, and we can talk about it. I take it on. You know what I'm saying? But that's it for it. You know what I'm saying? Coach Lloyd, take us out, man. What you got?
Yo. I was just gonna quickly say, hey, definitely have your mind right. Like they always say, get your mind right, get your mindset right, and hey, know where your source at, where your confidence lies, and all that. So, once you decide that you want to get your mind right, you're gonna have to believe your belief system gonna have to come up so you can make those changes.
Yeah.
For that alignment.
There we go.
And then once you believe in that alignment, like we said, God will work it out of whoever you may believe in, work it out or whatever. Like, be hopeful, man. Optimistic, but don't lose hope, whatever you do. So, Josh, man, take us on out. Oh.
Go ahead. I mean, go ahead. I was gonna say something. Go ahead.
Slide that in their favors. If it touches like that, I want to hear it.
First, believe you can. Get on the grind, right? You got to first believe you can. Then you get on the grind so that you can evolve and empower, right? Let's go. That's it. We are the gifted exchange, man. That's all it's about, man. Let's go. What you got?
I just want to say, don't be afraid to wait. Because if you take time now and do what you're supposed to do, as you've been educated already, getting in alignment, or finding your source, getting in alignment. If you take 5 years now and your life is another 50, I would rather live 50 the right way than 5 still wondering.
Yes, sir.
And boy, do you have time right now?
Time, my guy. Time.
Time to enhance.
All right, y'all. Look, y'all been listening to us talk for a minute, man. Look, I hope y'all enjoyed this, man. Links will be in the description below. Comment, like, subscribe, hit that share button, you know what I'm saying? Help somebody out. We are the Gifted Exchange, man, and we are out. Peace.